Hey babies, and how are you all doing? Hope you guys are doing fine. Hope you're doing great. Hope everywhere Marama, hope everywhere Stewer. Welcome back babies. Guys, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, and also do not forget to give leave me a huge thumbs up and then share this video. Thank you. So you guys, we are back again to the diary session of the housemates. So it was remaining K-Bobo, Mensan, Dede, and what's her name again? Sultana, H-O-H Sultana. Yes. So now let's talk about their diary session so that you get to hear their own parts and just like others that we've discussed, right? So I'm starting with K-Bobo. K-Bobo's diary session, Biggie asked him how he's doing. He started talking to Biggie about how he made a decision on picking the telephone, and sometimes he felt like it's a costly mistake, yada yada yada. And then big brother was like, okay, come correct, what do you mean? He now explained all the scenario that transpired, how he picked the telephone and how there was a price for it. And at the same time, he said he was judging himself, feeling like it was an expensive what was it called, price. But at the same time, he feels like even if the other housemates were actually on his shoe, they would have done the same thing. So because of that, he is grateful that he picked the call and that he's going to experience the finale, and he's sure his people is going to be proud and happy for him. So Big Brother asked him about the eviction that shocked him the most, and then he reviewed Thelma, and he had a lot to say about Thelma because initially himself and Thelma had disputes, right, during Thelma's reign as head of house. That was the soft life week, I think, and then he did not like how Thelma handled things as the head of house. There was so much lavish lifestyle, and because of that, he had problem with Thelma, and which they get to settle, and then they were getting close. Thelma now left the house, and according to him, Thelma is actually a competitive person, and he wasn't expecting to see Thelma go like that. And then Big Brother asked, okay, which of the housemates do you think should have actually left on time? And then he said he think Isabella, Sultana, Zita, that this set of persons, they barely do anything in the house. And I'm like, coming from who? K-Bobo? Brother, are you being serious? You should actually mention your name first, because this set of persons you've called, they are entertaining. So according to K-Bobo, when it comes to tax arena, you barely see Sultana, Isabella, and this says Sultana has become the head of house, and you have not been brave. Come on, any which ways. And he now said Zita, and at the point said, oh, even Zita now is trying to be competitive, so he thinks people would actually be there for Zita, and that was what he had to say about that. And then he was asked about the head of house decision, and then according to K-Bobo, he feels like that is a diplomatic thing to do. He feels like Sultana did the best thing, that he would have also done same, knowing that she is closer to more than one person. So the best thing to do is actually to carry out that decision to avoid any side talk or any issues at all, or issues of trust or whatever. And then he was also asked about Mensan getting the influential tag. He was like, oh, he's gonna be sincere. Mensan is that guy. He's always there cutting the guy's head, doing this, doing that for the guys, and he's never complaining about that. He's gonna give him kudos for that. But at the same time, he has said that before in his diary session, that the cleaning and all of that Mensan was voted for is because he think Mensan does that because of this influencer thingy, influential housemate. Sorry, I said influential housemate thingy, that he does all of those cleaning and all of those dishwashing for a reason, and which he finally got. That is good for him, right? So that is what K-Bobo had to say about Mensan, but that Mensan is actually good, but at the same time, he feels like with the things he does, he did it because of to get influential tag. Why he is saying that is because after he got influential tag the other time, according to him, Mensan stopped doing those things. That is what K-Bobo had to say. But from my own perspective as a viewer, I do not think Mensan is acting up when it comes to cleaning. Yes, because even now that he has actually gotten to the finale, I could still see him do the toilet and all of that. So it is just in him. It's just like peak milk is in him. Talking about Mensan, let's talk about his diary session. Mensan being asked how he is doing, he had a long talk about how he is being taken for granted in the house with various scenarios, right? He mentioned the scenario of the phone issue, how Ruboy spoke to him in a kind of way. He made mention of the scenario of the tax they had, how he was hyping his teammates and then they were dragging him for that. He mentioned how they talked to him in a way that is not good. or because of they feel like they can talk to him that way. He just mentioned long scenarios of how the housemates, purposely come for him, which he feels is unfair. Big Brother asked him if he has actually spoken to them, that he doesn't like the manner at which they spoke to him. He said he has done that countless times, but no, they refuse to stop. He had to even mention how Emisi even did it on purpose by not finishing Coin's hair. That Emisi has said that she's doing it on purpose. He is trying to let Biggie know that this housemate do things they do on purpose and decide to stand by it. And then, okay, after the long talk, Big Brother asked him about the eviction that shocked him the most. And then he revealed that of Thelma and Bright Morgan surprised him. That he has watched this show, that he has seen celebrity come to this show from previous season. And then he feels like when Ebuka came, that is something it was all about, right? It was all about, celebrity coming and them having to just with Ebuka, only for Ebuka to, unleash his, thingy. And that was actually painful to see. And then he was asked about the head of house decision, that is Sultana's decision. And then he said that was actually a kind of way. You guys, I was expecting what Mensan said from him, because he's quite an emotional person. He's not logical in terms of reasoning. So he said that having that opportunity, that slot, and not using it is actually not a good one. That already he was expecting Sultana to pick Jason, because even during when they were dropping their pitch to the head of house, he already told Jason to actually not act like he knows Sultana, that he should be serious, drop his pitch and all of that. That he was really thinking that Sultana would pick Jason, only for that not to happen. And then according to him again, he said that, well, at the same time, it may seem as though why Sultana did that is because maybe she doesn't want to pick a side between Jason and Isabella. Maybe that is why she did what she did. And then Big Brother now throw in a joke and be like, what if she did that because you did not pitch for yourself? And then he laughed so hard. Biggie did not actually do this diary session without giving him the hype of being the first housemate to get to the finale and all of those, Mr. Immunity kind of hype. At the point, he spoke about how he wants to see the mom. He said he feels so good to get that influential tag, and he's happy for the people who made it possible. And then he said that he would want to see the mom on stage. He lamented so much on how the handler should find way, if not for anything, he will later, borrow, collect money or maybe pay people back from the tax money that he have won. Wahala not be like bicycle like this for Mensan. Any which ways, you guys, I'll be dropping that of Mensan here. Let's go to the next one, Dede. For the black dark chocolate melanin popping diary session. I know some people now go pay you, so I hype this girl like this. I cannot hype people in peace again. Any which ways, for the beautiful girls diary session, Biggie asked her how she's doing, and then she was like, she's just there. That she is just there, and then Big Brother was like, okay, expatiate on that. And then she revealed that, that she noticed that she came into this house getting to find a part of herself that she hasn't found, you understand? That and it feels so good to see, because she has actually come out to find herself to be a perfectionist. She wants to be perfect in everything she do, she wants to be a perfect sister, a perfect daughter, a perfect everything, but coming to this house, it has actually taught her that you can never be perfect. You can never be perfect, but you're still a good person. That getting to be in the house where you have imperfect people doing their thing, letting you know that you should have flaws. There is nothing bad in that. And especially getting to see what Ebuka reviewed on Sunday, and then she was actually thinking it back again, saying, well, Dede, it is not bad for you to actually, have your flaws and all of that. So that is something she has gotten to learn. When I heard that she has learned this, I was so happy. I was so pleased with my soul, and I'm like, okay, if there is anything at least that this girl came to this show to do, at least she has removed this perfectionist mindset from her head, because you guys, that must really be a big battle for this girl all her life. Do you know what it is for you trying to be perfect in a life, in a world where you know that nobody is perfect? So I'm happy she achieved that. And then after she finished with her, Big Brother asked her about the eviction that shocked her, and then she revealed and said, Biggie, the one that shocked her, that in this house they cannot actually stay back from not giving their own evaluation as housemates. So them as housemates has already pictured some certain persons and their qualities and how they deserve to be in the house till the finale. And she said these two housemates, Thelma and Joanna, fell into that category from her end, and it was so surprised to see that they left. And then Big Brother asked her, which of the housemates do you think should have actually gone earlier but still in the house? And then she said, Big Brother, I never actually thought of that. Big Brother persist. And then she said, K Bobo, she feel like K Bobo is not super sociable. That in as much as they had their early ish where K Bobo did not give her food, but at the same time they are very cool now. But she doesn't have any problem with K Bobo, but she feel like K Bobo is not that sociable and he doesn't really include himself in social activities in the house. So she's expecting that K Bobo shouldn't be here right now. And then she was asked about the head of house decision of, no, about the head of house. And then she was like, am I supposed to have a feeling about that one? My feeling about her still remained the same, So I don't have any feelings about her because of the situationship with me and her. But I feel like she's doing a good job. And the big brother, and I asked her about the decision the head of house made, if it was shocking to her. She said, was it shocking to me? No, but it was impressed. Was it impressive? She said yes. That was how she put in her word there. Was it shocking? No. Was it impressive? Yes. Because according to her, the reason why it wasn't shocking is because she's an overthinker. Ever since Sultana was placed in that situation, she has also placed herself there and said, if it was me, what would I have done? Having to know that this person is closer to more than one person, this is the best thing to do. And Dede said if she was also in that position, she would have actually done the same thing, because knowing that you're closer to more than one person, the best thing to do is to just make it up open, because all you needed to do is to save one person. You can't save the one person and then leave the other one. So Dede said that is actually a perfect decision. And then after that, she was asked about Mensan getting the influential tag. And then she said she is really happy for Mensan, that Mensan has showcased himself in all activities, that Mensan deserves it, that he is that guy, he deserves it, that she's actually rooting for him calmly, that in as much as they have their fights, they have their this thing, but yet Mensan is one person she is rooting for, that he has got good luck. Like, I've noticed that most of the housemates, they say good things about Mensan because it's so obvious, you guys. What is obvious is so obvious, And even if you don't like the person, you should be able to say the truth. And then Dede also recognized Mensan efforts in the house. And then Dede asked, when Big Brother asked her if there's something more she want to discuss, she said, Big Brother, can I actually stay back when the show is over and not go back to the house? Because I don't know how my mom would see me, especially after what was revealed on Sunday. In my mind, I'm like, baby girl, do you think camera don't show you guys? So you think Ebuka saying that on Sunday was when your mommy will get to know that? They see these things. We watch you guys, baby. But any which ways, Dede said she wants to stay back and not go home. While we have the likes of Isabella crying, I want to go and see my son. We have Dede who said, Big Brother, I don't know how my mommy would, feel. I want to stay back and all of that, And then Big Brother was like, then it would be Big Dede's show. And then she laughed and said, yes, Big Brother. And after that, Big Brother gave her some good advice, which was really, really nice, that she should try and not see herself to be that perfect, or the need to be good over good or something like that. She now said, oh, Big Brother, I know that I am good, yes, but at the same time, I just look at my people, my family, everything still boiled down to whom. Big Brother dropped his advice, and that was how it was with Dede. Dede honestly is one girl that I'm really wishing the very best, because for a girl who is actually not free with her mom, because for you to be this scared or trying to be extra careful about your mom, that means you are just not free. If there's one person you should be very free with, it should be your parents. That is what I think. But that is that with Dede's diary session. I wish her the very best, and I'm happy with time. I believe after the show she would be a better Dede. She would not be that Dede who is so scared of being doing thinking. She will not be that flawless Dede. No, she will be that Dede who know that I did this, I made mistake, but I am also a good person. All right, guys, let's talk about the last but not the least, the head of house, Sultana. I have been waiting for her session anyways. So in her session, Sultana started off already. Big Brother did not even ask any questions about how are you doing, and Sultana took all of her time to spew everything that happened past 2 weeks till this. So she started it off with the week Isabella had the drink ish with Thelma them, and then how everything turned out to be. She explained every freaking thing, how Isabella splashed pepper on her. She spoke so much about Isabella and Jason, because these are the two people closer to her in details anyway, which we are not going to be doing here. If not, we're going to sleep here. If I had taken my time to say things exactly the way some of the housemates who stayed long, I will not live here with you guys. We'll go day here tired. So yeah, in a nutshell, she just spoke about Isabella and Jason, how Isabella, their reactions to their fight and everything, how Isabella expected her to carry her fight on her head that day because of drink, and how Emisi says she's two-faced, how that really got to her, on how Joanna also, made her look like she is like a back clicker. For example, when Joanna and Isabella were having their back and forth, Joanna was like, see this one with then splash pepper, she still go the beg. She said that thing actually rang a bell to her head, that it really got to her. And then she spoke so much about Jason too, how Jason and her relationship, how Jason, after the duvet thingy, Jason had complained so much about herself and culture, only for Jason to actually do that with his what's it called, Joanna, that it's giving, you can actually take what you give, that kind of a thinking. And that was that. And then coming to the decision she made on Monday, she said she made a decision being the head of house and not the Sultana, who is actually friends to this person or friends to that person. And then Big Brother actually gave her accolade that you've got a good head on your shoulders, meaning that she did the right thing. Big Brother did not need to say it's pop and plain, but that is what Biggie means. I am proud of Sultana. Biggie is proud of Sultana. Every reasonable person will be proud of Sultana, because that is the right thing to do as at that time. Because you've got two persons. Oh, she even said it herself. She said she's got Isabella and she got Jason. And then she said, in as much as Isabella and herself did not start from way back, but at the same time, this is the person she's currently close to. And then she said there's something Jason said to her, that Jason said, if you had actually picked Isabella over me, then I would have actually rated our friendship where you have kept it. And then when she heard this, she was like, oh, Kilonjebe, what is that? You know, because now if Jason could say this, that means Isabella would feel the same way if she had actually chosen Jason over Isabella. So that is one of the reasons why she did what she did. And I am here telling you, baby girl, you did the right thing. You know, so after she explained all of that, Big Brother asked her the eviction, the housemates she think should have actually left by now, but it's still in the house. She said she have not ever thought that before. Biggie insisted, and she said she has never actually thought about that before in the house. And then Biggie asked her about the housemate, who has the best speech during the when they were asked to speak to her, and then she repeated the same thing she had said before. She said Dede, Mide, and Jason, and then she included Zita and said, oh, Zita's own was playful but funny, but at the same time Dede's own was emotional, Mide and Jason's own was emotional too, you know. And then she was asked the least housemate, and then she said Faith, that Faith came in with his pride and all of that. She just explained the shenanigans with Faith, and that is what it is. And that was how Sultana's diary session came to an end. So baby girl still came with her full chest to say she did what she did just to save her head, and she did the right thing. In as much as she said she went through a lot making that decision, but my dear, you did the right thing. Any which ways, guys, I'll be dropping it here to leave the rest for you guys in the comment section. Though she came out to Jason giving her a tight hug, because Jason said you stayed over 2 hours in there. All right, guys, I'll see you all pretty soon, and please, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do so. Thank you. And also do not forget to like and share this video. Thank you so much for always sailing with me. Mwah.